Welcome now to Talk of the Nation. Early this week, over 400 Catholic bishops from across the continent gathered in Kampala for the Symposium of Episcopal Conferences of Uganda and Madagascar. Pope Paul VI launched this institution in Uganda in 1969. The first meeting was held in Uganda and is only happening here again 50 years later. As the meetings come to an end tomorrow, we are privileged to host Father Paulino Mondo, a member of the organizing committee of SECAM, to explain the symposium. Welcome to Talk of the Nation tonight.
Thank you, NTV, and all those who are viewing this evening. Uganda indeed is a blessed country, not because of the matters of Uganda, and not because it's the only part of the planet, but because of hosting always a high-level personnel that God has created. So this time we have the bishops from all over Africa.
In fact, we want to be a bit snoopy to find out exactly what the bishops from all over Africa have been talking about.
The bishops have cut across. You see, Africa needs again to renew its own identity card. So the bishops are here to help every African to celebrate Jesus Christ as our Savior. That is one main thing. Any bishop of any church anywhere, Christ leads the program. And being 50 years, certainly there is a re-evaluation of the Christian faith, the Catholic faith on the continent. We know that this continent covers literally 12 million square miles, and it has over 500 ethnic groups. It is composed of 56 countries and has over 600 Catholic bishops and 25 cardinals. So Africa is one continent of its own which is unique. So religion as it is practiced in Egypt is not the same the way we get it in Cape Town of South Africa. Whatever is in Kinshasa of DRC Congo is different from what is in Mombasa in Kenya. And what we have here in Uganda may be totally different from what people in Rwanda also are experiencing. So we are cutting across, evaluating, because these 50 years or so mark the moments where we are also revising the impact of the Second Vatican Council, which made sure that evangelization reaches down to the people. But when these bishops have come, they have not only touched matters of the pulpit, there are many matters affecting the African person. The African person, incidentally, has a lot. People admire where he or she lives, but the African person is hungry with the food, has not enough food to eat. So the bishops have talked about poverty alleviation once again. What we hear in Uganda by the father of the nation, going from place to place, saying that Ugandans have to be afraid of poverty. The same bishops are saying, be afraid of misery, you Africans. Make sure that your diamonds, your gold, your own fish in the lake, your own bananas, feed you before even you invite others to eat them in your own hotels. Because if we don't eat well, then we shall not live longer. Then,
in fact, talking about the issues that affect Africans, would like to understand what are the bishops' views. You talked of poverty, but would like to understand the bishops' views on poverty and on the church and politics.
The church and the politics, the bishops always underlined, because the document of Pace Militaris, Peace on Earth, which was written down by Saint Pope John the 23rd, was talking about the power of politics in the life of every human person. And that is why in every conference of bishops in Africa, but also across the world, we have the commissions for justice and peace. So the church underlines, and today this need to eat carefully, that politics is so important that you cannot leave it to politicians alone. At times even what politicians know is substandard, because the schools they have gone to study political sciences have been been started by the church. So you cannot say that you are a philosopher more important than the one who invents philosophy. You are a teacher than the one who even has taught you. That your shoulder is higher than your own head.
Okay.
So politics is pertinent, and now that's why the bishops are calling upon politicians to do the work of the servant, to serve the people who have elected them. They are not ministers to themselves. They are ministers to the people. But they are also empowering the local African to know that a person who votes has the power to call the minister to order, to call the member of parliament to order, and even give him or her a vote of no confidence.
You're talking about members of parliament and different leaders. We have heard news of a Kampala document. We would like to understand more. What is what is in the Kampala document?
The Kampala document, much of it is going to come out tomorrow.
Okay.
When we are concluding the Holy Mass at Namugongo, the Mass will begin at 10 o'clock. Okay. And we invite all Ugandans, kindly come to Namugongo, because issues of politics, of health, of poverty do not affect only Catholics. They affect all of us.
Are there some key resolutions in this document that you can point out? Maybe one.
They have been voted upon, but for sure one clear among them is that no African is supposed to be poor and beg for money, because this money does not only belong to the bank. It is supposed to belong to every household. Every household is supposed to live above poverty line. So how to generate money? The way you have seen that here in Uganda, we have Centenary Bank, and we are encouraged, come and invest in your bank, do trade. Do not go to quacks who are the money lenders, who will steal your own money, or to pyramid schemes. That one will come out handy. Among the points that will come out is the strength of education. We have some schemes that are coming intercontinentally, which are brought by people who are from self-centered persons. They are destroying our education. Somebody who studied 20 years ago in some schools, and one who goes to the same schools now, people may get not same levels of knowledge. And a person who is ignorant is a person who is taming a lion under his or her own bed. Because ignorance and poverty are lions. Unless you hunt them and you kill them, they will later on eat you. So education will come in handy. And that is why we shall even tell the governments, please don't touch our schools. Even those you took, we want them back, because you are giving us a disservice.
It looks like there's so many issues that the bishops really want to address, and I would really want to hear from you. How does the future of the church look like in Uganda and Africa at large? With
this plenary, the 18th plenary of the African Conference of Bishops in Madagascar, I can assure every viewer who is watching NTV that now the game changer has come on the stage. The things are not going to be the same as before. It is not that the police will stop people because they are going to ask for their rights. So when the church goes on stage, first of all, the church does not need permission to preach to people in its own church. People will come voluntarily and they go away voluntarily, but they are going to get a value. Pope Francis has encouraged all the bishops, but more so the African bishops, prepare your homily to make sure that it transforms the human person. Do not go into the church and make the same stories, even worse than those on the streets. So this will, a person who is empowered with good information, the person will totally become different. That is why we say that this plenary, which is asserting the identity card of the African person of this black continent, is coming on the stage as a game changer. That is why we are inviting people, come to Namugongo and listen from the horse's mouth, because the newly elected president of SECAM is going to read out the resolutions, but he will not stop there. Books are going to be published, and as we shall be invited to NTV and other broadcasting houses all over the continent, we are going going to expound out. I can tell you, no church on earth has brains like the Catholic Church. That I can assure you. Professors, doctors, name them. No church on earth.
Okay.
Even in the secular world, no church in the world can come and compete with us on the levels of knowledge and understanding and the simplicity of giving the message to the people the way they should receive it to the kindergarten level of children.
Okay.
The church still excels. So we want to use it to transform our own continent.
So maybe you've been talking about inviting all the people to come tomorrow at Uganda Matters Shrine in Namugongo. How does the program look like?
The program, the commencement will be, the mass will begin at 10 o'clock. For us as a Roman Catholic Christians, the Eucharist is the summit of every function we have. So mass will begin. In mass, we shall have the readings, and already we have already published the mass. We shall have a magazine, and at the end of the magazine, there is the order of the mass. Readings are there. What is not in the magazine is the homily which will be delivered. That the homily is the educational part that the people are going to receive. And then after that we shall celebrate the Eucharist. We receive Holy Communion. After the blessing, we again get the clear message of the resolutions of the African bishops. They are going to read them out. What I have touched is just the top of the iceberg. But the things are going to be so good that any newspaper on this continent which leaves out the resolutions, it is not worthy to be published again on this land which God blessed to give all colors.
Okay.
After all, Africa is not only black. Africa is like me and you. You are brown and I am black, and we make the mosaic of the creation of God.
Father Paulino, as maybe we come to the end of our conversation tonight, do you have any last message to the viewers or to the people that are watching us tonight?
The message is that Africans, be confident, assert yourselves now. Your confidence has to rise and shine. Don't shy away looking for riches by running to United States, by killing yourselves in the Mediterranean Sea, that you are going to look for some greener pastures. Africa is more green than you think. It is us who have houses that are seated on gold. We have showers that are full of diamond. We have parks full of the best animals. Instead of running over there, come and we do our best. We have everything. We have iron. We have enough clay to make bricks. We have hills where we can put the best cities. Let us build our continent to make others now desire to come and live with us on this continent. Then we shall have our visa higher than the one of Australia, one of America, one of Europe, and then people will start saying, what's wrong with the African person? There is nothing wrong. The African person has been recreated again, because after all, Africa is the first in the names of the continents that we have on this planet Earth.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to our studios tonight.
Thank you, and thank you, viewers. May God bless you. May God bless Uganda. May God bless Africa.
And may God bless you too.
Thank you.
We now come to the end of the conversation tonight. Unfortunately, there isn't much to add. He has said it all. But if you want to find out more, please do attend the Mass tomorrow at Uganda Matters Shrine, Namugongo. Thank you for being part of Talk of the Nation.